controlling the live section. Everything that happens during the airing is shown in the live section. The page is mainly composed of display with the track information and more on-air slots. The lower part of the section shows the transport controls to start and stop playback. There are also buttons to activate the loop on intro or manual and automatic modes. The on-air slots are reserved to the first 6 elements. They can be filled dragging tracks manually from the media section by a clock when extracting tracks from its categories or by scheduled events. The first on-air slot is reserved to the track currently on air, whose information during playback will be shown on the main display. At the end of the track, the contents of all slots will be moved one position up, so the next track will be aired. Slots are not only reserved to tracks, but also to other items such as sequences or web streams. Each slot shows the following information: title, artist, duration, intro position, estimated on-air time, and a tag. Tags show the origin or type of one slot item. Example, a track selected by a clock or a track belonging to a playlist or a sequence item. To fill a slot, drag the item from the other main interface sections, as media section for audio tracks. If an item is dragged in a slot already full, this will not replace the content of the slot, but will be inserted above or below the slot, depending on the position of the green line. Drag a slot over another one to swap the other of queued items. During playback, use the skip button in the transport controls to air the next slot or the play slot button to immediately play the content of that slot. Each slot has a menu with these options. Locate in Library to immediately show and select the item in other main sections, and Remove from the slots to remove the item. Items queued after the sixth and the last slot are placed in the playlist on air section and increase their position when the slots end to play. By activating the manual mode button in the transport controls, When a track ends, the next element is prepared but not played. Use the skip button or disable the manual mode to restart playing. The main display shows the duration of the current item as time left and passed. The intro duration, artist, title, and next scheduled event. In particular, the intro timer turns in outro timer after the intro is reached and the outro is set in ending. The waveform shows the playback progress. Click on the lock to the right to enable seeking tracks by clicking on the waveform. It's possible to select multiple tracks and place them at the bottom of the playlist on air section to queue them next to the sixth and final slot. Select tracks in the media section and click Actions, Queue to Playlist on air. From the Playlist on Air section, it's possible to swap elements from the slots or remove queued elements. Airing in automatic mode. When tracks are played, on-air slots can be filled automatically if the automatic mode is enabled. The automatic mode uses clocks to select tracks from categories and to fill the slots. To let Inonda playing in automatic, it's therefore necessary to define one or more clocks. To start playing in automatic mode, choose a clock from the live section next to the transport controls. The automatic mode button is automatically activated. By clicking play, as long as the automatic mode button remains active, tracks will always be generated from the categories of the selected clock, in accordance to the on-air rules. Clocks can be scheduled in different days and times. With schedules, a clock can be activated automatically. In the Schedules section, select a day and type the date in the time selector. Then click the Add Schedule button. Go to the clock section to the right and drag the desired clock in the empty row created in Schedules section. Select the scheduled clock and click Actions, Copy to Every Day. In this manner, Inonda will start playing endlessly in automatic mode, activating a clock at the start of every day. The clock can be stopped just by the user clicking stop or activating another clock manually or using other schedules. In the same day, it's possible to schedule different clocks to change music rotation according to the time of the day. Automatic mode and manual mode can be both activated at the same time. One mode will not exclude the other, as manual mode manages only the skip of the elements, while automatic mode fills on the on-air slot using the current clock. On-air rules. Every time a track has to be selected from a category in a clock, in a sequence or a playlist, Inonda verifies the on-air rules and chooses the most suitable track to play. You can set track-specific rules selecting one or more tracks and accessing the properties or editing windows. Then go to the Automation tab. Enable validity to set an expire date from the track. Using this rule, the track can't be hired before the beginning date or after the end date. Enable song separation to set a value in hours for the rule. The same track can be aired again only if the number of hours has passed from the last track airing. Enable artist separation to set a value in hours for the rule. Tracks from the same artist can be aired only if the number of hours has passed from the last artist airing. Enable hours and months allowed to enable or disable hours or months. Using this rule, the track can't be aired within the disabled days, hours, or the disabled month. From edit, define, artist, enter a value for the rule maximum number of plays of each day. The rule avoids to play the same artist more than the specified value within a day. Other global rules can be set by clicking Edit, Settings, Rules. Set a value in minutes for never, at the same time for about. The same track can't be aired if selected from the category at the same hour. Same time is intended to be plus or minus the number of minutes set. The value number days to check indicates how many days to check for never at the same time. Example: you can prevent same tracks to be aired at the same hour of their last airing plus or minus 60 minutes and within 2 days. If there is not a track that satisfies all the rules, it will be chosen the less bad of available tracks. Inonda uses the weight of each rule to determine the less bad track to be selected from the category. It's possible to decide which rules are more important than others, to let Inonda prefer tracks that violate rules set as less important. In the Rules tab, use the options to choose a percentage of importance for each rule. Inonda tries to consider more the rules with the highest percentage and gives less priority to those with the lowest percentage. Create a ranking of rules based on importance, assigning to the most important rule the highest weight and proceeding step by step, decreasing the weight for each other rule till the last important. Avoid the value 100% unless a rule is considered to be strictly respected compared to the others and assign the value 0% to unused rules. It's possible to specify whether a category should be excluded from a rules analysis. From Edit, Define, Categories, create or edit a category and enable Excluded from rules. on-air info and reports. Click the arrow to the left of the desired track in the media section, then select on-air times. The On-Air Times window allows to check the airing history of each track. The window shows the airing list with details on date and time. The Reports section stores the record for the airing of all the tracks of the day, showing the information of the played track and the airing times. Select the desired period to show in grid or manually select a specific day or a range of dates. Reports can be exported in CSV files. Click on the Export CSV button and select the report to export. Clicking History will report the report for all the tracks played, sorted by date and time. Clicking Spins Count Song will export the list of played tracks with their cumulative number of airings.